empathy, understanding, um, communication, honesty, I think are the important things that they need from their attorneys.
High quality representation for children and parents in dependency proceedings is crucial. It can make all the difference in the outcome of the cases.
We have to be in tune with not just the law, but childhood development. We have to be in tune with adolescent development. We have to be in tune with substance use disorders. We have to be in tune with brain development. We have to be in tune with domestic violence. So many different areas that touch on issues facing families who find themselves before a dependency court. And you have to take a deep dive in order to represent your clients in a way that I believe is high quality.
For one, having a person with lived experience on the team so that they can get a better understanding as attorneys. Also hearing the parent and what the parent is suggesting or saying. Getting the parent to speak up when necessary. And communicating with the parent. I think communication is the most important thing. I think communication between the parent advocate and the attorneys are important. Between the parent and the attorney is important, and an understanding of those things.
I think that high quality legal representation for young people, particularly older youth in care, is really focusing on their well-being, really building relationship with them, getting to know them and who they are, what's important to them, especially while they're in care. And also not only just transition planning, not really focusing on their transition into adulthood, but really focusing on their day-to-day life and their well-being in the everyday life of being in foster care.
This whole concept of normalcy in foster care, making sure that older youth are engaged in age-appropriate activities, that they get to do all the things that children who aren't in foster care get to do, that they get to date, that they get to learn to drive, that they get to go to the prom, that they can take a trip with their school, that they can participate in athletics, all of those things. And so they need to have a lawyer that's going to fight for those things.
First and foremost, you have to take the time to learn the law. Youth court and juvenile law, dependency courts is a specialized area of law. And it is not something I believe that you should get into simply to collect an additional check if you're in private practice, or to dabble in, because these are real lives. This is more serious than a murder trial, in my opinion, because you impact multi-generations of families, depending on your level of representation for that family or for that child. And so I first believe that high quality representation has to come with high quality training.
Children as well need well-trained, high-quality attorneys. And part of that high quality means adequate compensation. It means having enough time and low enough caseloads to do a good job, and to be able to ask those questions of their clients that will help them to determine whether or not reasonable efforts were made to prevent removal, whether or not reasonable efforts are being made to reunify families and to gain permanence for the children.
I think it's important that people understand the importance of parent advocacy, the importance of having a person who's been impacted or has lived experience being part of a legal team. That they're able to bridge gaps and maneuver into areas that, a social worker or an attorney really can't get through, or may not have an understanding of getting through that situation. The ability of living a situation and helping another person out of it It says a lot. It says a lot. It's a very important skill. It's a skill that you can't learn in a book, or you can't learn from others training you. It's lived. That's why I came to lived experience.
The benefit of it is what I've seen over time is that fewer children are being removed. Even if there is an adjudication of dependency, we're able to keep kids at home, and there's a lawyer advocating for that. We are terminating supervision a lot earlier because we have parents, attorneys advocating for that.
Now, you have to listen to your clients. If you are a guardian ad litem or a child's attorney and you're in a best interest state, you have to also understand that part of that best interest analysis is including the wishes of that child. If you represent parents, you have to also understand the delicate balance and zealous advocacy for your client.